over the Baltic Sea, a massive NATO training exercise is underway. The sky is a hornet's nest of the world's most advanced fighter jets, American F-15s, German Typhoons, French on the ground and in the AWACS planes circling above. Powerful radars are tracking everything. Nothing moves without being seen. The picture is perfect. But then something impossible happens. One of the tracks on the radar screen just stops. It doesn't blink red. There's no explosion. The dot simply fades away. The controllers are confused. They check their systems. Did the radar break? Did the jet crash? They look for a glitch, but the system is working perfectly. Every other plane is still visible. Only one specific fighter has vanished. It was a Swedish JAS 39 Gripen. Minutes later, a calm voice comes over the radio from the empty spot in the sky. Gripen is still on task. The NATO commanders were shocked. How does a jet that doesn't have stealth technology disappear from the world's best radar? It didn't use a cloaking device. It didn't hack the system. It used a trick that is much simpler and much more dangerous. Welcome to Hidden Valor. Today, we're telling the story of how a small Swedish jet fooled the entire NATO alliance, not by overpowering them, but by outsmarting them. To understand this trick, you have to understand the people who pulled it off. Sweden is different. For decades, they were a neutral country stuck right next to the massive Soviet Union. They knew that if a war started, they would be outnumbered 10-1. They couldn't win a fair fight. So, they decided not to fight fair. While the Americans built huge, expensive jets like the F-15, designed to dominate the sky with raw power, Sweden built the Gripen for survival. They designed it to land on regular highways so they could hide in forests. They made it easy to fix, but most importantly, they designed it to be the smartest jet in the world. In modern air combat, most pilots are taught to be aggressive. They turn on their powerful radar switch act. Like giant flashlights do, find the enemy. They scream across the sky, blasting electronic signals. Sweden took the opposite approach. Their doctrine was simple. He who stays silent stays alive. They trained their pilots to treat their radar not as a weapon, but as a trap. Because the moment you turn on your radar to find someone, you are announcing exactly where you are to the whole world. So, when the Gripen entered the NATO exercise, the Swedish pilot didn't turn on his flashlight. He kept it off. Now, you might be asking, if the Gripen keeps its radar off, isn't it flying blind? This is the genius part. The Gripen wasn't blind. It was seen through everyone else's eyes. The Gripen has one of the most advanced data links in the world. It's like a secure Wi-Fi network in the sky. The pilot could see the data from ground stations, ships, and even other friendly planes. He didn't need to send out his own signal to find the enemy. He just downloaded the picture that everyone else was creating. So, as the exercise heated up, the sky became a mess of electronic noise. Everyone was jamming each other. Everyone was blasting their radars! In the middle of this chaos, the Gripen did something unexpected. It didn't fight back. It just got quieter. The pilot reduced his electronic signature. He stopped talking on the radio. He stopped making sharp turns. He flew smoothly and slowly. He blended into the background. To the NATO radar computers, the Gripen stopped looking like a threat. You see, modern radars are smart. They are designed to filter out things that aren't dangerous, like birds, or clouds, or slow-moving civilian planes. They prioritize fast, aggressive targets. The Gripen pilot knew this. He tricked the computer's logic. He behaved so normally and so quietly that the NATO computers decided he was unimportant anymore. The system quietly pushed him to the bottom of the list. And then it stopped showing him on the main screen. He didn't disappear from the sky. He disappeared from their attention. Inside the control room, the NATO operators were busy. They were focusing on the loud, fast jets. They were fighting the battle they expected to fight. Meanwhile, the Gripen was drifting through the seams of the battle. The Swedish pilot was patient. Swedish doctrine teaches, Wait, stride. He used the confusion of the other pilots as a shield. He flew in the blind spots of their radar coverage. He used the clouds and the terrain. For several minutes, a capable fighter jet was operating right in the middle of the enemy formation, and nobody knew. In a real war, this is the moment you die. You feel safe. You think you have cleared the sky, but the enemy is already behind you. The Gripen pilot watched his screen. He saw the NATO fighters turn away, exposing their backs. They had made a fatal assumption. If I can't see it on radar, it's not there. The window of opportunity opened. The Swedish pilot pushed the throttle forward. The engine woke up. The jet surged forward. He didn't need to be invisible anymore. He was now in the kill zone. The pilot flipped a single switch. Radar on! For just 1 second, he blasted a focused beam of energy at the lead NATO jet. Ping! Inside the NATO cockpit, the warning receiver screamed, "Lock on! Lock on!" The controllers on the ground jumped in their seats. A bright red symbol appeared out of nowhere, right inside their defensive line. Contact. Where did he come from? He's inside the perimeter. It was too late. Before they could even turn their jets around, the Gripen had simulated a missile launch. Fox 3. The lead NATO fighter was virtually destroyed. Then, just as quickly as he had appeared, the Gripen pilot turned his radar off, banked hard, and vanished back into the noise. He had delivered his message perfectly. He didn't use stealth coding. He didn't use speed. He used discipline. When the exercise ended, there was silence in the debriefing room. The NATO analysts looked at the data. The radar hadn't failed. The technology hadn't failed. The humans had failed. They had been looking for a monster that screamed. They forgot to look for the assassin that whispered. The Gripen proved a powerful lesson that day. In the age of high-tech warfare, we rely too much on our screens. We trust the computer too much. Sweden showed the world that you don't need a $1 trillion budget to be dangerous. You just need to understand how your enemy thinks. The Gripen didn't defeat radar physics. It defeated assumptions. It proved that sometimes the most dangerous fighter in the sky isn't the one you can't see ... It's the one you stop looking for. This is the hidden valor of the Swedish Air Force. If you enjoyed the story of tactical genius, smash that like button. Which jet would you choose? The massive F-15 or the smart Gripen? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.